2. The live stream is coming up. Once it goes, I'm going to click off because it's automatically going to be streaming anyway. And then when I hit the record button, the show begins.
Okay.
All right. Tube. Waiting for that link to come up. And come on, show me the screen. There we go. And record to this computer. And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Kareem Talks. My name is Kareem, obviously. It is Sunday, obviously. And we are getting ready for the final 3 episodes of Kareem Talks, which includes this episode. And with all the seriousness I've been tackling these last couple of weeks, and with the hellish month that was July, I wanted to go for something very lighthearted. So, why not K-pop, right? But of course, I couldn't do this episode without having the experts on the topic, because I know what? Psy, and that's basically it. And Huna, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Huna, I don't know. I don't want to butcher it, you know. But I couldn't do this particular episode, without my guests returning back from doing all the serious episodes. She finally got a lighthearted, fun episode to be on. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing back to the show on her very first live stream, Khadija. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Having me.
Feels good. It feels good to be on an episode where you can breathe.
Yeah. Instead of being
no presentation, presentations. This is all you. No
presentation. Just speaking, being a normal human being, how I like to live.
Wonderful. And along with my returning guests, we have our debuting guests. First, all the way from Georgia, where I'll soon be residing. A good friend of my fiance, one of many sisters that I know. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sakina to the Kareem Talks podcast. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And I'm sure this will probably be the only medium where you can discuss K-pop and not feel endangered.
Oh, yeah.
On Twitter. Safe space. You can express yourself.
Yeah.
And bringing it all together, couldn't have Khadija here without her friend who absolutely loves K-pop. As you can see, she took her time to get ready for the show. Look at her, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful. Look at her. Ladies and gentlemen, debuting on the Kareem Talks podcast, Ilyasa. And not Alasia, how I've been mispronouncing it for the past couple of months up until recently.
I'm sorry, wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to have a lot of fun. I need all the positive, high-octane energy. We are going to have a good time.
We need you to say her name one more time, please.
Ilyasa, or how I mispronounced it.
How you mispronounced it.
Alasia. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why.
What?
I tend to butcher a lot of languages. It happens.
How you butcher the language that's the same language as your name?
Listen. I haven't mastered Arabic, okay? I haven't mastered Arabic. For that.
Oh, that's funny. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay.
Thing is, though, the topic is K-pop. Clearly, I've had probably little to no exposure to the genre. I've actually listened to more J-pop and Japanese hip-hop, video game stuff. That's a whole other realm. But how did you all first? How did you all discover K-pop, and when did you all realize that this was one of your favorite genres in the whole wide world, and you're not letting this go? I'm gonna start off with Khadijah. So.
Oh, okay. So I discovered K-pop when I was, I think I was 12, and I was watching random YouTube videos. I was watching this one YouTube video by this dude named Kev Jumbo. It's really funny. He was an Asian dude, and then he played a snippet of a K-pop song. So I'm like, let me go look that up right quick. And I clicked on the video, and it had a very nice like R&B intro. I'm like, wait a minute, this is good. And then it turned into the actual song, and it was Super Junior, Mr. Simple, and it was like a sensory overload, but in like a good way. And I got obsessed as soon as the video ended because it was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bird time.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of those, and we're gonna get a lot of those in the show. Myriad of alarms to remind me what to do throughout the day. Sakina.
I got into K-pop when I was 11. Me and Zakia kind of discovered it at like the same time. I think she, cause you know I was already into anime and J-pop and stuff, so K-pop wasn't even weird to me when I like first saw it. I think she showed me.
You're just like it's only one letter down. It's one letter.
Yeah. She showed me Z by Girls' Generation, and I thought they were a Japanese girl group. That's what I thought because you know I like J-pop anime, and I thought they were a Japanese girl group. Then I found out, oh no, they're like Korean, and there's like this whole entire other world to it, and it was really cool to me. And I guess that's like around the time like America didn't really have any girl groups anymore. That. So that was like really cool to me.
All right. I think that was another group that I listened to. What was the name you said?
Girls' Generation?
Girls' Generation. I've heard of them. I had a couple of K-pop fans at my job when I used to work as a busboy at the Hard Rock Cafe. And then I'd be subjected to nothing but K-pop during dancing for quinceañeras. Yeah. Whole other story. At another point in time. So, Ilyasa, how'd you get introduced to K-pop?
Like introduced, but not like into yet. The first time was like Khadijah. Like we had like this at our mosque. They had like this girls trip where we went to this cabin or something in the woods or whatever, and it was that's a whole nother experience. But like in her cabin, they were having like a little dance party thing. So some girls from our cabin went over to their cabin. And so they were doing like dance songs and they're like, dance, dance. And so Khadijah, she pulled me out because like I wasn't like comfortable dancing with stuff. And she was like, here, just dance to this song. And it was like Ring a Ding Dong by shinEE. And so that was like the first K-pop song I ever heard. And I didn't even recognize it was K-pop or a different language or anything.
It just sounded so good.
And so then cut to like, I don't know, I was maybe like 13, I think, 13 or 14 or something like that. And I was on YouTube and like I was watching that like React channel on YouTube. And so they were like,
that channel. I know I wasn't the only one.
Right. I watch Farm Bros all the time. And so they were like, these people react to K-pop. And I was like, okay. And I started like watching all the React to K-pop videos because they were really cool. I was like, this is cool. That's cool. And so then I ended up listening to 2 songs like full out, like Monster by EXO and Call Me Baby by EXO. And like, it was really good. And I was like, and I forgot about it for years and years and years. And then on YouTube, on like randomly, I don't watch award shows or anything like that, but on my recommendation list, it was like BTS like perform at some, I think it was like the AMAs, but it was like a year prior to when I had like got recommended or whatever. So then I was like, hey, they're pretty good. Their dancing is cool. And then I watched like some music videos and that was it.
That was a long story.
I've had very little exposure to K-pop, but from what I did see, I was just like, this looks interesting. Of course, Psy was like the very first person because he just blew up and the dance was just so damn ridiculous. I was just like, I like this a lot. Of course, that was a dance that I learned and got paid to do at quinceañeras and stuff. Like I said, whole other
How
story
much
for
you
another
pay
time.
for?
I was getting paid 50 an hour as a dancer at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Like,
For the quinces though, for quinces only, not
like-
whenever the song came on because I was working at a restaurant as a busboy. But whenever the quinceañeras started, it was like I stopped being a busboy, gave me an outfit, and yeah, I was on stage. Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting.
You have a lot of experience.
Oh yes. Then after that whole craze with Psy kind of died down, I didn't really listen to K-pop again until I started hearing a lot about BTS this and BTS that, and I was just like, all right, who are these people? And like I told Khadija with Hamilton, by the way, I've watched that now, and it's good. We're not gonna blow it out. We're not gonna blow it out of the water like a certain person, but I'll admit it is good. I didn't hop on the BTS train until a wrestler said that one of his favorite groups was BTS. That wrestler,
Oh,
it-
John Cena.
John Cena. Yes.
Yeah, Cena.
You
Yeah,
told me John Cena. When I saw that, I was just like,
he
okay,
loves them so much.
clearly, this man knows something I don't. So I've listened, I've watched, and I was just like, it ain't it. This is watchable. I can dig
They're
it.
amazing.
I dig this. And what I've noticed with Asian culture, and particularly with dance groups and all that, and especially in K-pop, a lot of the male groups dig from this guy. This is why I was wearing this shirt.
Yeah.
A lot of Asians pull from this man right here.
I
So
like
it's like I see the references, I see the inspiration, and I like it.
Yeah, a lot of K-pop is like obviously pulled from like 90s black boy groups or girl groups. And I think I was talking about that on Twitter the other day, where I feel like K-pop stands for fighting over something stupid. And then but then a whole bunch of black K-pop stands for like, yo, groups like New Edition, they're literally the blueprint for K-pop, literally. Like you see it
Yeah.
you see it in everything.
At the end, it all comes back to us.
Yeah, exactly.
But my thing with K-pop groups, they take the concept of the boy band or boy group or girls group. They take that concept and they crank it up to like, what's a good number? Crank it up to like 1,000,
Yeah.
10,000, because it's like the video. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's just outrageous and all over the place. And then what Khadija mentioned, sensory overload. It's like it's so much at one time. Like just putting the trailer for this episode together alone, I was just saying so many different things, and I was just like, how do I make this all flow together? And it just worked. It just worked. If I didn't put all the videos together, you'd think you just watch people would know it was a compilation, but other people would think like it's going from one part of the music video to another part of the music video to another part of the music video. So it worked. So I like that, the eccentricity of it. What's
funny about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's funny about it is that the way Korean culture, from what I've observed, with the way they move, is that like in 2007, 2007 K-pop, no, not 2007, a little bit before that. So like 2005 K-pop looked like the 80s. Like their music videos looks like it was from the 80s. And it like gradually
80s, like to where give you up 80s.
You'd have to see it, and so I'm gonna put in a little plug here. Go look up Super Junior. Oh man, what's that name? Look up Twins by Super Junior, and then watch the video,
I'm
and then
go
you'll
back
know
to
what
the
I'm
video,
talking about when I
because
say
I
it
feel like
looks
a
like
lot of
this.
names and songs are going to be dropped. So I'm going to go back and watch this.
So many, so
And
many.
I'm
There's
going
gonna be
to
a lot.
whatever. I'm going to pause it and be like, I'm going to look up that person really quick, watch it, and then I'll personally give my own thoughts, critiques, etc. You know. So please
do.
drop as many, as long as it's not too much, because I have to actually sit down and find.
It's gonna take at least 3 days.
It's gonna be so
just
long.
be
like
a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, I put together a playlist for my friend before this. I was like, tell me what you think about these songs. And I meant to just send her a couple. And I'm being like 63 songs. So like it's a lot.
It's a lot of different. It's just a lot. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff in a lot of different groups.
I'll definitely be looking into them. Not immediately after this episode is over, by the way, but I'll find some time. You know, pass the time at work. Be like, you know what? Let me listen to those K-pop groups pass the time at work. You know. So I'm glad you mentioned K-pop in the 80s, because I wanted to know, what is the difference between K-pop when you all discovered it, when it wasn't big, to where it's now like in the mainstream? Because you see it everywhere at this point.
Yeah, you do.
Go ahead.
Let me go first. I would just like to say that when I was growing up on K-pop on Tumblr, there's a lot of nice people, and then we were all one community. But now there's a lot of angry people, and I don't know where they came from. And it's interesting as far as the
social
fandom
media
goes.
culture in general, though.
What?
I think that's social media culture in general, though. It always starts off with angry people.
Yeah.
Like
we were all together on this, but now it's just weird. Go ahead, Sakina.
I think back in back when I first got into K-pop, people knew K-pop, but like it wasn't like popular at all. And I can't really, I mean, even though you saw maybe a few, rarely saw a group or two like promote over here back then, but it wasn't till like 2016, like about 2016, like that's the same year BTS blew up like in America, is when people really started paying attention to K-pop, and it just became a thing in mainstream media. And now, like back when I was younger, people would be like, K-pop in Korean, that's music in Korean, that's crazy, you don't even know what they're saying, even though you don't really need to know in their lyric translations, but now it's like, if you say it to somebody, people won't even blink an eye about it, because like you said, it's everywhere.
Become a part of the culture.
Exactly. Now. I think like one time I walked into FedEx to get an order, and like BTS is just playing FedEx regularly, like normally.
What, Elias, you have anything to add on the whole K-pop being mainstream, or you think they pretty much covered it? Or
I mean, by the time I got into K-pop, it was like 2018. Like I said, like my first.
It was already mainstream.
Yeah.
So like I got in it when it was like already like it was normal to see groups on like Good Morning America or interviews and stuff. So like I mean, I don't know what it was like back in the olden days. So like by the time I got in, it was bumping.
That's fair. You got in it when it was blowing up. You like, get on the hype train. Now with blowing up in the mainstream, a lot of things came from that. A lot of fans, a lot of stans, and with that come fandom wars. Please, Sakina, I'm gonna let you, because I think you dealt with it the most out of everyone here. I see it. I scroll past. I don't know how Khadija deals with it. I haven't even seen Elias on Twitter, so it's just like this all points to you. Like, what? I'm not gonna ask what is the purpose of it, because we all know it's like quote unquote band supremacy, who's the best K-pop group or whatnot. But I've seen it get really volatile, like beehive levels of volatile.
Yeah, K-pop stands. They're like any other fandom, but they're like in like the top 3 of fandoms I find like the most annoying. Like there's people on there.
The other 2 are. I really would.
Oh, the other 2 I think it's like are like Voltron stands. That was a TV show that came out in like 2017. You don't want to know the story to that.
I mean, that's an older show, so.
No, there was a new version of it that came out in like 2017.
I heard about that, yeah.
And it was, and I think, what's the other one? I'll come back to the other one. The other one not coming to my head right now.
I really thought you were going to say Beehive, but I was just like.
Oh, no, I don't interact with Western music stands enough to.
Oh.
I do know they're crazy, though. But K-pop stands, they're like nice people on there. You can find plenty of people that become friends with. Like I have a small little group of people I'm friends with over K-pop on my main account that you all follow me on. Then I have some ones I'm friends or mutuals with on my comic book account that I know. Mm-hmm. But they're really, I would say that K-pop stands, they can be great, nice, and actually extremely useful at times, but they're very, when it comes to fan wars and over who's the best group or who's the best singer, they get so angry and I have no idea why. Like I would say the most annoying fandoms wise are, honestly, if you are a fan of any K-pop boy group, I'm going to automatically find your fandom annoying. I'm just gonna say that right now.
It's tough. That is very tough.
People be annoying and people be doing too much over men. I'm sorry. That's what they do. They be doing too much over men.
Wait. I want you to repeat that statement.
They be doing too much over men. They be
doing too much
over men. K-pop did be doing
that statement. You gotta remember that statement. Because, like I said, we're gonna have those conversations about Johnny Boy. Yes, we are.
We sure will. We sure will.
Like I think I remember one time on K-pop Twitter, there's so many dumb arguments fandom-wise that have happened. But I remember one time within Armies, the fandom of BTS Armies, I think I remember one incident that happened within fandom-wise. It was crazy. This group of BTS fans, Armies, Black Armies specifically, came up with this thing about how, they were getting harassed, getting sent racist death threats and stuff and all that. And I was like, oh, okay. And they even had a whole article written about it and about how the anti-blackness among K-pop fans, which is true.
That's
anti-blackness among other K-pop fans within the fandom, and that's very, very true. But I think one of my mutuals, she's a Black K-pop fan too, and she was on Twitter, and she was like, she's a little older, so she was all like, I find something weird about this because something about this situation isn't adding up. And then I was like, why do you think it's like not adding up? And then she explained, then lo and behold, like a few months later, it came out that they basically made up, fake everything, fake all the stuff they told, everything that was in the article, minus the issues that are already present and do exist in K-pop fandom. And it was all that over K-pop, and like I said, and over some men. They be doing too much over men.
And this is why I'm very careful. This is why this is one of those things where I strive to be a fan of the music, but when it comes to the person or the group, I'm gonna be I'm calling you out. Like
fandoms?
I don't care if you're all my favorite artists.
Exactly, like fandoms can really sometimes they can be a turn off to a group you like. Like for instance, when I was in K-pop, I used to really like Blackpink when they first debuted, but their fandom is like a huge turn off because like they constantly hate on like other girl groups or these girl groups aren't as popular as so and so and so and so or nobody's doing it like Blackpink or they're not the top like Blackpink, even though I could name like 5 other groups that dance way better than
Your
them.
opinion is
But-
wrong, and let me show you why.
Yeah, I could, but I don't have anything against Blackpink, you know, as a
They
group.
just like stop gassing them up to be the be all end all when
Yeah.
groups exist.
And honestly, if you want to gas up your face like that, that's fine to me. But I think there's a certain point where we're like you should like stop. You should stop with when it comes to just certain stuff you start to say. Like I said, Blackpink as people as a group, I don't have anything against them, but sometimes fandom really can turn you off from things you like. I try to separate artists from fandom or stuff I like from the fandom. But sometimes like I don't like Armies either. But sometimes they can be a real turn off to what you like sometimes. And
That's very true. That's with all artists.
Yeah, and sometimes you just want to like end up wanting to separate yourself from both the artist and the fandom.
That's with everything. That's with every artist in every genre of music. That's happened to me listening to Beyonce. That's happened to me listening to Eminem. That's happened to me. Shoot, it's happened to me listening with Michael Jackson. I didn't know how toxic Michael Jackson's fan base was.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, relax. The man will want everyone to be peaceful. No, relax.
Honestly, they all need to chill. Like, I think like there's another there's this K-pop there's this girl from this K-pop group I like called Mama Moon, and her name and her name is Hwasa, and she's like a really popular member from the group. I swear her own fandom doesn't like her though. But the thing is, like, she gets a lot of hate for, you know, all K-pop groups though. I mean, the people themselves in K-pop groups aren't like racist, but they've all done anti-black things. And the thing is, though, I feel like it's not fair among that to like single in fandom. In fandom, here comes, oh, they send her death threats, they send her rape threats, they say stuff like, oh, I wish you would die, They slut shame her, all of that. And honestly, I'm like, listen, if you don't feel comfortable or you don't want to, if you don't like her, that's fine. Like, if you don't like somebody I like, that's okay. But at some point in K-pop, I'm like, it's weird to single one person out for stuff all K-pop groups have, the other K-pop groups have done. Cultural appropriation, saying the N-word, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm not going to say that.
Khadijah's ready to add on to the point, please.
I'm not going to say that the bad people. I mean, what are you trying to say? Because I'm probably not.
I just feel like it should be acknowledged that there's a lot of like anti-blackness in K-pop groups.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like there's a list that I could just name off the top of my head, even from my favorite K-pop artists, for example, shinEE. Love them to death,
like, but
they had a whole performance where they were in Native American garb, and it was just like, why would you do that? Like, you guys are adult, you have the internet, you can research.
I'm sorry, they dressed up as Indians. They dressed up as the Native Americans.
Yeah, like, and even then in groups like there's groups I like who've done culture stuff like that.
Like when you say dressed as Native Americans, are you like tribal tattoos, feathers, the whole
they had on the feather scarves, they had the music, they had feathers, they had makeup. This is a different type of makeup. This is Beyonce inspired makeup. I feel like I should just let that be known. Not business right now. But yeah, it was a whole performance, and it was very cringeworthy to watch.
Yeah, I think even like, I mean, one of the K-pop groups I really, really like in Flavor have done not like the extreme brand of it, but they've done like blackface, like basically like not like black, but like darkening, like they like dark, put on makeup to make their skin look darker. And I feel like, and sometimes being a black K-pop fan especially is like really hard. And I feel like
that seems to be a practice in Asia, like regardless of what. I've seen a lot of like, I'll never forget this commercial where this black dude got put in.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
He got put in a washer.
Uh-huh.
Came out Asian, and I was just like,
yeah, it was a shinEE commercial. Yeah, there's a lot of, and yeah, that's where it comes into. There's like a lot of like you can enjoy it, and
Asian commercials are weird in general.
Yeah, they are.
There's a line.
Yeah, there is a line. But AntiBlackness is like as a K-pop fan, you have to sit there, especially like a black one. You have to just sit there and acknowledge that. Oh, yeah, there's like a huge anti-blackness problem, especially among the fandom. But sometimes you just gotta go on about your way. Like sometimes, like when it comes to K-pop group, like there's always a new report of this K-pop group said the N-word. This K-pop group said
like at this point it's like it's no.
Yeah, this K-pop group had on a do-rag. Oh, they copied some type. They had braids in hair. At this point, for me though, I've been in it so long. Like at this point, I just can't find myself to care. Only because I'm like, they're gonna keep doing it. They're not gonna listen. They're gonna act like they don't know. They don't
until the master comes down from the wheel and tells the Koreans in their own language, "Hey, cut that shit out." Like on me, cut it out.
Like I think after a while, you just kind of get so used and numb to it that you just be like, yeah, whatever.
You become desensitized. It's just like
you just become like every time I see it, I just feel like, yeah, I don't care. I'm going on about my way.
It'd be like that. Yeah, I mean, and that, like I said, that's within every fandom, Western and Eastern.
Yeah.
So it'll solve itself.
It will
eventually.
I also think this joke on Instagram before. I said it before. I think I've also gotten into arguments with like fandoms of like super big K-pop groups. Never get into arguments with Armies. They will be in your mentions like endless.
I learned that with the Beehive.
Yeah, I like
just like I'm not even gonna waste my time.
Right? Like
no matter what, I could present this, and this, right? But at the same time, I'll not be offensive. Look, exactly. I like her, but this, and this, and they call it stinging. They'll be all up on me about it. Just be like, why did I even bother?
Right, and it's like
block, turns off mentions, everything, leave social media.
It's like
there's no point.
Exactly, because I think one time I'm an Army myself, but I'm one of the more sensible ones. I think I got into an argument with them one time because I had said something that was along the lines. I think I had said that I was like, it makes no sense for you all to talk and want Asian representation in American media or in other media, but then you all want BTS to be that only representation. I think that doesn't make sense. And they were in my huh?
You don't want anyone to gatekeep. You
want to gatekeep. Like you can say, I don't care what you say. Whether you want to say, if you want to say BTS opened the path, whatever, that's fine. But you can't sit here and be like, oh, but they're the only ones that should be able to break out into media and be the only Asian representation. And I said that didn't make sense. And I think, yeah, they were in my mentions for like a couple of hours. I fought with a couple of them, but after a while, I just turned off my mentions to people who I only follow because I'm like, I'm not going to get it to their brains and fandom is.
Yep. And being someone who's been on that other side of the end, because before I used to just listen to music, I'd just be a regular fan, appreciate the music. Before I was like, especially with Eminem, was just like I went really hard for the guy. Especially when it came to dealing with believers. There's just a man. I mean, like, just say he's white. Just say he's white. That is the reason you don't like him. No, man, the man can't spit. This person said he could spit. This person said he could spit. Rakim, the guy you all revere, the guy who basically started hip hop, said M can spit. No, man, it don't count. That's his opinion. Be like, okay. I quit. But then eventually I had to learn how to, time and place, one, and two, when someone is dead set on a way of thinking, and they're not going to open their mind to other perspectives, it's best to just leave it alone. It's best to just leave it alone. Yeah. And you learn to appreciate the music more because you're unbothered. Everyone's arguing in the background. You're just listening to the latest track that came out. Like
exactly. Like when it comes to K-pop fandoms nowadays, because I just don't like. Sometimes arguing with certain K-pop stands is like arguing with like a brick wall, and sometimes I just don't bother to really argue with anybody anymore. I just stay in my little circle of K-pop mutuals I have and stay and do that. Like the only people I argue with is racists on my K-pop account. I'm not my K-pop on my comic book account.
That's it. I mean, when they come for you, be ready to fight. Other than that, you're like perfect rhyme. When they come for you, be ready to fight. Otherwise, stay out of sight. Oh,
exactly. You would be surprised how anti-black comic book fans can be.
I've seen it a lot with Morales. I've seen it. So now that we got the fandom wars out of the way, now I have a set of questions about a particular person. I'm going to start off with Khadija because you are. Whoo! What did you just?
It should be me because she called him ugly at first. That's not even fair.
Really?
She called him ugly.
So,
She
what are we talking about Johnny Boy now?
Yes,
we got 24 minutes left.
I was a fan of him. And this
Obsession with
girl,
start.
she called him ugly, but you know, let her start.
So when I first found out about NCT, the only person that I found attractive was Taeyong because if you see his face, then you would understand that he's just a very handsome man. Didn't really care about anybody else. I didn't feel like looking them up until Sakina was like, hey, let's go to this K-pop concert. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know they were coming to Atlanta. So then I started looking up all these people. Okay, I didn't know that Johnny was built like how he was built. That's how it happened, okay? That's how it happened. I'm not gonna feel ashamed about it. That's a nice body. So there.
Famous Instagram reaction to Johnny's abs. Scream her around the world.
Let me explain. There has never been a K-pop moment like that in my life where I was that shocked or excited. So that's where that came from.
I've never.
And it was morning.
Scrolling through IG, right? I'm just Khadija stories because I always get a laugh out of Khadija stories. I like watching them. The one reaction, I'm just like, my ears just like, what the?
She screamed in our messages about it. It was Johnny and Kick It from
and then you just see,
ago. And she just
see Johnny's abs and just like, this is what it is.
She sat there screaming the whole time. She sent me videos of her screaming and crying, and I said, I was like, you don't never need to meet Johnny in real life because if you put that his ass.
I'll never see Khadija again. It's like I'm going back to Korea. You'll never see me again.
That was a good day.
You'll come back speaking full Korean, North and
South. I don't mind. No, I don't mind. I want to go to Korea. There's various reasons why I want to go to Korea. So.
She saw him at that concert with me. I don't know what last year at that concert with me. I don't know. Suddenly though, she just went. After she saw the ads, and I was just like, but like I said before that,
it's the fact that I was focused on Taeyong and Jonghyun. No, not Jonghyun. What's his name? Jaehyun. Yeah. The concert was the day I was determined to let Taeyong know that I was going to get him pregnant. So that's what I was focused on. I wasn't really
remember that
anybody else. I did. There's a video. I recorded myself
on my social media feed. I remember that, and I was just like, God bless this sister.
It was worth it. He waved to me after I said that. So he knows what's up.
Please.
He knows what's up.
Oh Lord. That actually segues into a more serious question. A lot of guys have asked me this. Not in particular to you all, but they say, well, like girls who like K-pop in general or like the guys in K-pop, they just feel like not that there's an anti-black thing, but it's just like they see a lot of girls fall in love with the K-pop guys a lot easier than them. And I'm just looking at them like, maybe it's because you guys are, you know what? I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to mind my business. But it's just like, if they feel like there's a stigma with that, I'm going to just give you all the room to address that whole love for, well, attraction to, we'll say attraction, not love. We'll say attraction to the K-pop.
Because let me just say, this happens every single time I've ever seen a black girl ever say to a black dude, "Oh, I listen to K-pop, so you would choose those Korean people over us?" Every time. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to demonstrate love towards them. You could just say, "Hey, I like K-pop. Oh, so you would choose them over us? Okay, so you'd marry a K-pop dude over
or oh, you're gonna marry an Asian person and not a black man." Like, I've had people say that to me, and I'm like, what does me finding this Asian man attractive have to do with who I'm going to marry or who I want to marry? Like, any celebrity you see, whether he's black, white, Asian, if you find them attractive, you find them attractive. Like, just because I find a white man attractive doesn't mean I want to marry a white man. I do not want to marry a white man.
It's ridiculous.
As attractive as they are, you still remember Dirty Caveman. Dirty Caveman.
Exactly.
No, it's ridiculous. And then it's like, because you never hear that from us. If you talk about a Mexican girl, you never hear black women going, "Oh, so you would choose a Mexican girl over us?
Right.
Oh, choose an Asian girl over us?" People talk about Lucy Liu. You don't hear me saying, "Oh, so you would choose an Asian girl over us?" It's not that we would choose her over this.
Well, as someone who's been a spectator, I've never said these things, of course not, because people are gonna like who they like. At the end of the day, I don't give a damn. That's not who I chose. But I have seen that from a guy will say they like such and such and such and such, or they think such and such and such and such is attractive, be they white, Asian, exotic, which is a fancy word for mixed. And I have seen some women trip over that, but I've seen it on both sides of the spectrum. So, but my thing is, I'm just like, it's you shouldn't automatically assume just because the attraction is there, you know?
Literally, yeah. Like, I was on this one of my friends' lives, and she had just gotten into like PCS and stuff, and she was like, "Oh yeah, no, I love them." And automatically, the first question from a dude was, "So you would choose them over a black dude?" It's like, bro, like, it's just liking a celebrity. That don't mean I'm gonna choose
exactly.
Like, the celebrity is not like, it's different for me because I'm married, because now I have this one person I have to focus on. You know, I have to give my straight loyalty to that person, and I don't mind that because they're absolutely amazing anyway. Shout out to the queen. Mwah. But with everyone else, you're gonna have your celebrity crush.
Exactly.
It's not even real. It's not even real like that.
You just find them attractive.
Unless you're Khadija plotting on someone. Like,
I have like 4 husbands in my head, but that doesn't matter.
But it's not like that's not the person you're gonna go after. You're not those crazy fans who looks up their dress, goes to every
Nobody got time for that. Anybody got time for that?
No.
Yeah.
Who got the time and the money for that?
I know.
No, nobody.
It's expensive flying out. They're gonna be at this place and this place. They're gonna be staying here, here, here. The airport they're coming from is here. Like, how do you even get that information?
Right. I feel like you're just attracted. Just because you're attracted to, or you find the celebrity attractive, doesn't mean like you're gonna be with them. Like, just because like I would not tell myself, "Oh, I'm gonna be with this celebrity or marry this celebrity one day," unless I don't know, say we had an accident, some type of accidental shoujo manga convenient meeting, and we bumped into each other or something. That's crazy to me. Like, for instance, I find a whole bunch of animated 2D men attractive, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna marry them because they're 2D.
I mean, yeah, we've all had that. We've all had that. Dance, look at 2D women.
I mean, I find a lot of 2D men better than men in real life, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna marry them.
I mean, yeah, we're not like those who actually go out and have those. There are people who actually go out and marry like 3D like models and everything.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and I've
seen that.
How does that work exactly?
I don't know.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
I'm just like I get attraction because it's natural, it's natural, But then that extreme is just like they're not real, bro. Give it up. Give up your waifu, bro. Don't do it.
And the thing about it's like, because in K-pop or just any celebrity in general, you're only seeing certain sides of their personality too.
Yeah.
So don't flip and fall over them because we only see the best of them. I only see the best of this person. I don't see this person acting well, you do see acting crazy, but not like genuine, like, oh, you have a serious problem crazy. So it's easy to say, especially the way K-pop is set up, oh yeah, I want to be with them, oh yeah, I love them. Not like want to be for real. But it's like, oh yeah, I love them because you only get to see certain sides. We know in reality, they're not like that all the time. So if you be like, oh, my Korean dudes, whatever, it's because we're only seeing the best sides of them. So it's like, it's not like, I would marry a black dude because he couldn't be him. No, we all know we're only seeing so many sides of them. Like, if you're not delusional, you know that. So me saying, oh, K-pop boys doesn't mean I'm gonna marry a K-pop boy, because I also know there's parts of them I don't see.
That brings me back to the fandom question a little, back to where I think it was like 2-3 days ago. Somebody had posted a video. Basically, it's a member of a K-pop group called KAR, and they're a co-ed group. It's 2 female members and 2 male members, and they're a co-ed group.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the members, he's funny. He's real with his fans. He don't be acting, fake robot, the written personality there is for him. He's real. He interacts with his fans. He's fun. He's chill. He'll say whatever he wants to say freely. But some people were sitting there getting mad about that, talking about, oh, he's rude, or you shouldn't be saying that. Like, first of all, it's obvious you only stand K-pop and not Western celebrities. Second, you all always complain about how, oh, we want to see who these K-pop people's real personality is. I wish they didn't have to act robot or have to act a certain way just because they're important. So they should be able to be free.
And then when someone does it, you're just
exactly.
Like, whoa, you're being too rude. Why did this?
Exactly. And then when we get K-pop idols who do act true to themselves and are like, yeah, I don't care about the image my company is trying to make me put out there, they want to get mad at them. I'm like,
makes no sense. You don't know what you want. You're spoiled.
Exactly.
And that's an excellent point, especially with the way, and shout out to Koreans because they just have some of the best PR that I've ever seen. I rarely hear about a Korean pop artist, male or female, getting in trouble, unlike everybody in the West, with the exception of a few people.
Right.
A few people. Like, I don't, like, you really have to dig. You really have to dig to find that stuff. Like, yeah. I don't see it. I don't see it with any Asian. I see it with white people. I see it with black people. I see it with Hispanic people.
I feel like I should just throw in that Sungri from Big Bang. Fuck that nigga. He's like the Korean R. Kelly. He's a fucking rapist. He's a pimp. Yeah. Fuck him. Just throwing that out there.
I heard about that.
Fall off like
I heard about an incident with him.
I heard him. I used to like Big Bang, and I never liked him, but now I really just hate him because he's just fuck
he
him.
Was involved in sex trafficking, and
well, this episode
he's a little pimp.
Episode got dark very quickly.
His fans are like R. Kelly fans. They would defend that man from the moon and back.
And that goes back to like K-pop. When they do bad stuff, that's my thing with fans. It's like they dig their artists in holes more than they help them. Because they're like, no, my baby is perfect and he would never do anything.
He don't do anything wrong.
This is from someone who...
He didn't do anything. He's a perfect baby panda who would never hurt anybody. And that was it. That was the defense. He would never hurt
literally. That was somebody said.
And that's the problem. That's the big problem. I'm glad you brought up R. Kelly. Because I'm not a big fan, but I've always loved listening to that one song he made from the Space Jam soundtrack. Absolutely amazing. No one can tell me otherwise. But it's just like, yeah, I like the song. But as him as a person, it's pretty fucked up. It's fucked up shit going on here.
Yeah, like
when we like to grab hold of phrases, especially what the minister said about it, and people took it and ran with it. Now just like, no. This is what he meant.
For real. 'Cause he ended
Yes,
it
he
with,
needs.
if you get wrong, you
The
know.
question is, does he want to be? And until we know that, then we can't just that part. We can't
like
things and run with it, you know. And
yeah,
that's with everyone. That's with every celebrity, and that's why I've learned to be more objective of artists, regardless of how I feel about them. And I've been very critical of all my favorite artists, from M to Cole to a lot of people. The only exceptions being Mike, Prince, and in recent memory Beyonce, because the woman apparently can do no wrong. I can't find the wrong.
you can't.
It's not existent. And if I try, I will find absolutely nothing.
You're saying all the right things right now, Kareem. Yes.
I'm like, I can't. Like, I've tried. I'd be like, there's got to be something. There's nothing. There's nothing I can find. Even with her good PR, because I'm sure she has wonderful PR. But even then, I can't find anything bad. I mean, yeah, voting for Hillary, or, you know, political stuff aside, I'm just like, it's just that's gonna be there. Who hasn't done that? You know. But something severe, I can't find it. It doesn't exist with Beyonce. It doesn't exist with Beyonce.
I remember when the like little sun grease little scandal thing with him happened, and I was on Twitter and I was like, yeah, he need to go to jail. I do not care what y'all think. He could like fall off a cliff, and I like wouldn't care. And I forgot what I had specifically tweeted, but I got into an argument with one of his fans. You wanna know what they pulled up on me? They pulled up on me the Korean defamation law, and I'm like, I live in the U.S. That's in South Korea. Korean law does not affect me. Korean law does not affect me.
We live in the good old U.S. of A.
I live on the other side of the world. That doesn't affect me.
That doesn't work. That you can't apply that here. How does that work? How does that work?
They will defend that man from the moon to back. And I was just like, and I'm like, you all should want more for yourselves. Because if one of my favorite members of the K-pop group I really like did that, they're in the dumpster for me. I do not care. I don't know them. They're non-existent to me anymore.
Now, I try not to be the quote-unquote part of cancel culture, but I do like the whole accountability thing. Like, no, you need to fix this. You need to fix this now.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then I'm sorry, I can't mess with you until you fix it. And, like, genuinely fix this, and not, you know how people, like, they make the whole, I got an iPhone now, so I relate the whole iPhone, like, they write the little note, they make the little public statement, and no. See, now I need actual change I can believe in.
People, I think one thing Fandom had to deal with on all sides of fandom, not just the K-pop fandom, they have trouble going differentiating between cancel culture and accountability. And the only reason why I don't think cancel culture actually exists is because these people be like, okay, we're gonna cancel so and so for doing so and so, but then like
still getting going.
Yeah, then like
still making records.
Right. Then like 2 days later, they're standing that person again. Oh, there's a reason people still have music sales, or they still have money, or so and so, and blah blah blah. And like with that situation with like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, we know they're both pieces of crap, but they both abuse one another. But I'm like, you all can't sit here and say, oh, you all ruined Johnny Depp's career when his career was fine, especially because he is a man. Nothing is going to happen to him. Like, that's the only reason why I don't think cancel culture exists, because cancel culture exists if you all stop streaming these people's stuff, if you stop looking at their movies, if you stop buying their music, then that means you really care.
Boycott.
And
like,
then actual boycott.
We canceled Black Friday temporarily.
Exactly. And then these celebrities themselves, though, they don't like to take accountability for anything. They just want to give a notes app apology and then think everything's fine. So
Yep.
that's the one thing I like about K-pop. I thank God their companies talk for them most of the time instead of themselves.
Yep. Well, this has been very fun. Energy's been high from beginning to end. I learned a lot.
And this isn't even the half of
Are there
this.
any people you all would like to suggest, because we have 5 minutes?
Let me go first.
Here we go.
Taemin is he's like the Korean Michael Jackson's son, if that makes sense. Taemin deserves his flowers. He's also part of shinEE. shinEE deserves their flowers. Also look up Jonghyun, who's a part of shinEE. Rest in peace to him. He deserves his flowers. Or he deserves his flowers. His album is amazing. We have EXO, best vocal group ever. Fight me. NCT, there's 20. How many members of the NCT?
21.
Wait. 21 members in a K-pop group?
They have different subunits. And they rotate.
Oh, so it's kind of like Gorillas, where it's like you see the animated characters, but they're actual other people working in the background and stuff too.
Yeah, the NCT is the group as a whole.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's all like a different thing to rotate. And then this set, and then this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Those are my top 3.
So
I can't think. Oh, Super Junior. That's the first one that I ever looked up. Close to my heart. Love them so much.
shinEE, Super Junior, EXO, and who else?
NCT.
Yeah.
NCT. Bet.
Yes.
There's, I'm gonna do all the girl groups because there's only 3 K-pop boy groups I actually really like. There's only 3. Like generally, I don't care for like K-pop, but I don't really generally care for male artists like that in the first place anyway. So, no offense to male artists, I just like female artists more. But except Michael Jackson. But
and Prince, and Prince.
I don't like Prince like that though.
What?
I like him, but like not like
you
that.
say things like that.
But
No, I do like him, but I I don't like him as like the way I like Michael Jackson or like BTS.
I feel that. I was always more partial to Michael Jackson and Prince. So
yeah, like that. So I'm gonna do the girl groups. I was gonna say BTS, but I'll leave that to Ilyasa.
Running out of people.
What? So
she said she's running out of people.
Oh, so I'm gonna do I say check out Mamamoo. They're like the best vocal girl group ever. They're like known for having like such good vocals. I will say check out Girls' Generation or SNSD. Both their names. Those are both their names. Whatever. Girls' Generation. I love them so much. They're like the first K-pop group like I really, really, really like.
Mm-hmm.
They're and Everglow, they're a new group. They debuted it like a year ago, I think. Almost over a year ago. They're really good. They're like a newer group. And
Secret.
Huh?
Secret.
Oh, Secret. Yeah, Secret are good. I'm trying to stick to K-pop girls that aren't disbanded. But you can still check out 4 Minute because they were one of my favorite girl groups before they disbanded a few years ago.
All right.
So 4 Minute, Mamamoo, Girls' Generation, and Everglow.
Got it. Ilyasa,
Okay,
you are closing us out.
All right, obviously BTS, that's my favorite. Listen to the Dark and Wild album. Just listen to that album because that's their best album. Like, despite what anybody says, that's their best album.
Dark and Wild, good.
Okay, and then 17. They're known for like their dancing. Their dancing is really, 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 really good. They're like really in sync. Even though there's 13 members, they're like always in sync. So they're good. Watch their dance.
Regular Jabberwockies.
They're one out of 3 budget.
Listen to Red Velvet. They're a girl group, and they're like known for doing like a bunch of different styles. So like if they do like a cute song, then they'll do like a not cute song. So like that. And then Day 6, because they're a band and they're amazing and they're incredible, and they're Day 6 and they're a band. Yes.
Alrighty.
I am so sorry. Look up BY Forever. His name is BY. The song is called Forever. best Korean rap song ever. Just I
And
have to
listen
say
to-
that. I'm sorry.
Well, Korean hip hop in here now.
Listen to
Ooh.
stuff.
Check out shinEE. She's a Korean solo artist. She used to be a part of the K-pop girl group Wonder Girls before they disbanded, but her solo music is so good. So you should check
More?
her. Huh?
Any more?
So, there's so much more, but we're about to end. So
Right.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
lot.
at the minute, because I'm just like I was waiting for the flood.
I held back.
If you all or anyone else who's been watching this episode or will be watching or listening to this episode tomorrow has any K-pop groups that they want to suggest to me to listen, please hit me up at the Kareem Talks podcast on IG or Kareem Talks on Twitter because I got to get the Twitter page activated. It's been very dormant. And yeah, this has been fun. This has been a wonderful episode of Kareem Talks. That is Khadija. Nope, wrong way. That is Khadija. That is Sakina.
Check out my Instagram. I got art on it.
Ilyasa. Tune in next week because it's a family affair. Yes, my mom will be on the next episode of
Ooh.
Kareem Talks. And my sister. That'll be
Aw.
fun. All righty.
That's good. So cute.
And this has been another episode. I'm going to go watch Cats. Musical. Then Hamilton. Ha ha! You all have a wonderful evening.